You know the story they've sold us for decades, right? Get a good job, save 10%, max out your 401k, and then maybe when you're 65, you'll finally be rich. But what if that whole plan is just a trap? A trap designed to keep you running in place? What if there's a totally different way to think about wealth? One that doesn't mean you have to trade away your best years? Well, that's exactly what we're about to crack open. This right here is the heart of MJ DeMarco's book, The Millionaire Fastlane. He basically says that all that common financial advice isn't just slow, it's a life sentence to mediocrity. Think about it. It's a deal where you trade your youth, your energy, your actual freedom for this tiny hope of a comfortable future that honestly might not even happen. We see the event, the Lamborghini, the huge house, the person who's an overnight success. But what we don't see is the process. That's the real story. The years of grinding, the failures, the risks, the 60-hour weeks. That process is the secret sauce. Trying to get the event without the process, that's like expecting a harvest when you never even planted a seed. It's a complete fantasy, and it leads straight to nowhere. All right, so here's how we're going to break this down. First, we're going to tear apart that whole get-rich-slow myth. Then, we're going to look at the 3 financial roadmaps you can be on, and you're definitely on one of them. Finally, we'll get into the 5 crucial commandments for building a real wealth-generating machine. DeMarco has this great way of framing it. He says your financial life is basically a road trip. You're the one behind the wheel, and you have to pick a road. And the road you choose, well, that determines your destination and, maybe even more importantly, how long it takes to get there. And the choices are pretty stark when you lay them out like this. You've got the road to ruin, the road to mediocrity, or the road to freedom. So the real question isn't just which road am I on, it's am I absolutely sure it's the right one? Okay, first up, let's talk about the sidewalk. Now, this isn't just about being broke, it's a whole mindset. It's all about instant gratification, getting that pleasure today, even if it's paid for with all of your freedom tomorrow. So, who is the sidewalker? They're the master of what DeMarco calls faux wealth. They look rich, they have the nice car, the expensive stuff, but they're absolutely drowning in debt to pay for it all. They're stuck in jobs they can't stand just to afford the things they don't really need. It's lifestyle servitude, where your lifestyle literally owns you. And the cost, man, it's not just financial. This quote says it all. Debt is a huge source of stress and conflict. This sidewalk path doesn't just drain your bank account. It takes a massive toll on your mental health and your relationships. Chasing the appearance of wealth actually makes you poorer in every single way that matters. All right, let's shift gears to the road most of us are familiar with, the slow lane. This is the safe path. It's the one that society, our parents, all the financial experts, they all praise it. But DeMarco says this is maybe the most dangerous trap of all. Sound familiar? Of course it does. This is the script we're all handed for how to live a responsible life. But it's a 40 or 50-year gamble that you'll be healthy enough and actually have enough money to enjoy those so-called golden years. The big problem? The math just doesn't add up. Let's just look at the cold, hard numbers. This table lays it out perfectly. I mean, even if you get a pretty optimistic 8% return, your $10,000 becomes just over $200,000 after 40 years. And that's not even counting inflation, which is going to slash that buying power in half at least. You are literally trading your entire adult life for what ends up being a pretty mediocre retirement. And this leads to the one question DeMarco asks every single person in the slow lane. Are you really okay with trading 5 days of your life for 2 days of freedom? Week after week, month after month, for 40 years? The slow lane demands your single most valuable asset, your time, for a payday that's way off in the distance and not even guaranteed. So if the sidewalk is a dead end and the slow lane is a 40-year crawl, what's left? The fast lane. And let's get one thing straight. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a complete shift in how you think, and it's a strategic plan for building a business that creates real wealth fast. The absolute biggest shift you have to make is this. Stop thinking like a consumer and start acting like a producer. It's that simple. Consumers get poor buying stuff. Producers get rich creating the systems that sell the stuff. You have to decide which team you want to be on. See, the fast lane works because its wealth formula is totally different. It's not based on time, which you have zero control over. It's based on net profit, what your business makes, and asset value, what your business is actually worth. These are things you can directly control and scale like crazy. That's where the real leverage is. So, how do you actually build this? You do it with what DeMarco calls money trees. These are business systems that do the work for you. Just think about it for a second. Software you create one time can be sold 1,000,000 times. A book you write can pay you royalties for years. A rental property makes money for you while you're sleeping. The key to all of them is they separate your income from your time. That's real freedom. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. Not every business is a fast lane business. For a business to be a real wealth-generating vehicle, it has to follow 5 rules. These are non-negotiable. First up, the commandment of need. Stop chasing your passions. Seriously, the market couldn't care less about what you love. It cares about its own problems. Your job is to find a need, a pain point, something that sucks for people, and solve it. If you add value, the money will always follow. Second is the commandment of entry. Here's a simple rule. If everyone is doing it, it's probably a trap. It's a crowded road to nowhere. A real fast lane business has what you'd call a barrier to entry. Some special skill, some unique knowledge, a strong brand, something that makes it hard for 100 other people to just copy you tomorrow. Number 3 is the commandment of control. You have to be in the driver's seat. You can't be a hitchhiker in someone else's car. If your entire business is built on, say, Amazon or some MLM company, you're not in control. They can change the rules tomorrow and just wipe you out. You have to own and control your own system. Fourth, we have the commandment of scale. It's simple. To make millions of dollars, you have to serve millions of people in some way. Your business has to be able to get big. This can happen through reach, like an app that serves millions of users for just a few bucks each, or it can happen through magnitude, like a real estate developer who only serves a few clients, but on multi-million-dollar deals. And finally, maybe the most important one, the commandment of time. If your business can't run without you physically being there, you don't own a business. You've just bought yourself a job. The whole point, the ultimate goal, is to build a system that works for you, so you don't have to. Look, at the end of the day, your financial roadmap isn't carved in stone. It's just the result of all the choices you've made up until today. The Sidewalk, the Slowlane, the Fastlane, each one starts with a single decision. So the only real question left is this: what choice are you going to make today to put yourself on a different road?